Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tearing through some really interesting source material to get to the bottom of a fundamental choice in electrical engineering software.
Right. ETAP versus EPLAN.
Exactly. And this isn't just about, which one draws prettier lines. It's a choice between comprehensive power system analysis on one side.
And highly specialized, super efficient electrical documentation on the other.
And understanding that distinction is, well, it's everything for you, the listener.
It really is. It dictates whether you're investing in the power to protect a whole utility grid or the speed to automate documents for a production line.
And buying the wrong tool.
Means you're paying for a skill set your team will never, ever use, a very expensive one at that.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little. Fundamentally, ETAP is laser-focused on modeling and simulating these huge, complex power networks.
Whereas EPLAN is all about one thing: the rapid creation of professional schematics and all the manufacturing paperwork that goes with them.
They really do serve two totally different philosophical masters, don't they?
They do, and what's so fascinating is how that philosophy dictates the actual features. EPLAN is built for standardization, for high volume.
How does it do that?
It uses these things called intelligent macros. Think of them as pre-designed, already validated circuit blocks you can just drop into your project.
So you're not reinventing the wheel every time.
Exactly. And it's coupled with things like automatic wire numbering and device tagging, which basically gets rid of all those manual labeling errors, the ones that are the bane of any documentation process.
Right. So if EPLAN is all about speed and standardization, then ETAP's purpose must be much more analytical.
Oh, completely.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. ETAP engineers aren't just drawing. They're modeling entire power networks to run these complex what-if simulations.
They're calculating real-world physics. That analytical depth is, well, it's non-negotiable for any large-scale power system.
So what kind of analysis are we talking about?
Well, ETAP runs load flow studies. That's to confirm if your equipment can handle peak demand without, overheating.
Okay, makes sense.
And crucially, it handles arc flash analysis. It calculates the incident energy, that's the dangerous heat released in a fault. That's critical for worker safety under standards like NFPA 70E.
Wait, so it's not just about voltages. ETAP is explicitly built to comply with high-stakes safety standards.
Yes, and it provides these incredibly accurate digital twin models of the power system. It also verifies short-circuit ratings for breakers and manages relay coordination, making sure things trip in the right sequence.
So that's why it's a go-to for utilities, heavy industry, and places that need things like nuclear-grade validation.
That's it.
All right, so let's shift gears. If ETAP is about singular, intense analysis, EPLAN must be about rapid, repeatable output. How does it help those panel builders and machine manufacturers?
Its strength is just relentless automation.
Design once, deploy everywhere.
Pretty much. You design a standard electrical module one time using its macro system, and then you can use that module across hundreds of different customer projects.
And the paperwork.
The system generates your bills of materials, your BOMs, directly from the schematic components. It has intelligent cable planning tools. It just automatically pulls out all the critical reports you need as you build the project data.
Like terminal diagrams and parts lists?
Terminal diagrams, parts lists, cable schedules, you name it.
So it's clear. If your priority is throughput and standardization, and not so much heavy-duty network analysis, EPLAN is absolutely the path for machine builders.
No question.
But we have to talk about the complexity trade-off. Your sources were pretty clear on this. The reviews suggest mastering EPLAN, even just the basics, can take weeks of formal training.
That time investment is significant, yeah. And while EPLAN has standard support, the sheer complexity of ETAP's analytical tools is kind of reflected in its customer service.
How so?
They offer 24/7 email with phone and chat available 245. You're trading documentation speed for analytical security. Both demand a specialized kind of knowledge.
So what does this all boil down to? It seems like the verdict depends entirely on your specific workflow.
I think so.
The choice is between optimizing for the cost of an error, which is what ETAP does with protection and arc flash,
Or optimizing for the cost of time, which is what EPLAN does with that standardized, repetitive documentation.
If we connect this to the bigger picture then, successful adoption really means you have to be honest about what your primary business output is.
You have to. You have to match the tool to the job your industry segment actually acquires.
So here's the final thought for you to take away. Considering those steep learning curves the sources mentioned for both platforms, the real question is Is that initial painful time investment in training actually worth the exponential efficiency gains you expect to see in, say, year 2 of using one of these powerful specialized systems?